By applying the axioms of addition and multiplication in the set of real numbers, the truth of some corollaries can be established. Let us have a look at the first one. Let x, y, and z be real numbers. Then the corollary says if x plus y is equal to x plus z, then y is equal to z. And if y plus x is equal to z plus x, then y is equal to z. Let us have a look at its proof. It is given that x plus y is equal to x plus z. Now, if we add negative x to both the sides of the equation, we get this. We have just added negative x to both the sides. Now, if we put the x terms together in one bracket, we'll get negative x plus y. And the right side of the equation, we get negative x plus z. So, negative x plus x, that is 0. So, we get 0 plus y is equal to 0 plus z, which gives us that y is equal to z. And similarly, we can prove if y plus x is equal to z plus x, then that would imply y is equal to z. These two laws are called the cancellation laws of addition. Let us have a look at the second corollary. It says if x is not equal to 0 and x into y is equal to x into z, then y is equal to z. Also, if y into x is equal to z into x, then y is equal to z. Let's have a look at its proof. Given that x is not equal to 0, then its multiplicative inverse is 1 upon x, or x raised to the power negative 1. Now, since it is given that x into y is equal to x into z, how about we multiply x inverse to both the sides? So we get this. Now once again, we are going to do the same thing. Put the x terms in one bracket. So x inverse into x in one bracket into y. On the right hand side of the equation, we have x inverse into x into z. So x inverse into x will be equal to 1. Therefore, 1 into y is equal to 1 into z, which gives us that y is equal to z. Similarly, we can also prove the other one. If y into x is equal to z into x, then y is equal to z. Now, these two are called the cancellation laws of multiplication. Let us move ahead to the third corollary. Here we have 1, 2, and 3 different sets of corollaries, which we are going to prove one by one. Let's have a look at the first one. We need to prove that x into 0 is actually equal to 0, where x is a real number. We have this identity law, 0 is equal to 0 plus 0. Now, if we multiply x to both the sides of the equation, we get x into 0 is equal to x into 0 plus 0. Now, the left side remains as it is, and on the right hand side, we apply distributive law, which gives us x into 0 plus x into 0. Now, by using addition cancellation law, which we just saw, we will get, now since we are applying the addition cancellation law, this x into 0 will cancel by this x into 0 on the right hand side. So we'll get, on the left hand side, you just left with 0. 0 is equal to x into 0. Or that means x into 0 is equal to 0, and that is what we wanted to prove. Let us now look at the second part. We want to prove that negative of negative x is equal to x. If x belongs to the set of real numbers, then negative x also belongs to the set of real numbers. And the additive inverse of negative x is negative of negative x. What is additive inverse? If we recall, additive inverse of a number is that number which when added to it gives 0. So when you add these two numbers, it gives 0. Now, let us just keep the left hand side of the equation as it is. And on the right hand side, can we write this? X plus negative of x. since x plus negative of x is equal to 0. So instead of 0, we just write this. And why do we do that? It's because now we can apply the addition cancellation law. We can cancel out this negative x on the left hand side with this negative x on the right hand side, which will leave us with negative of negative x equal to x. And that is what we needed to prove. Let's head on to the third one. If x is not equal to 0, then inverse of x is equal to x. First of all, the multiplicative inverse of x, where x is not equal to 0, is x raised to power minus 1 or inverse of x, right? And the multiplicative inverse of x is inverse of x, right? Now, for any real number a into inverse of a is equal to 1, where a is not equal to 0, of course. So, instead of this a now, if we substitute x inverse, the equation will become x inverse into inverse of x inverse is equal to 1. Right? We have just substituted x inverse in place of a. Next, let's keep the left hand side as it is, and instead of 1 on the right hand side, can we write x into x inverse since it gives us 1? Now again, why are we doing that? So that we can apply multiplication cancellation law. We cancel this x inverse with this x inverse, which leaves us with inverse of x inverse is equal to x, something that we wanted to prove. Lastly, we are looking at corollary 4. Once again, it has two parts. Let's look at the first one. X into negative y is equal to negative x into y is equal to negative of xy. This is something we want to prove. What would be xy plus x into negative y? How about if we take x as common, this would leave us with y plus negative y, right? Which is x into y plus negative y is 0. X into 0, which is 0. Also, xy plus negative of xy is also 0, right? Now, since these two are equal to 0, let's equate them. And over here now, we can apply addition cancellation law so that we cancel out this xy with this xy, which gives us this. And that is what we wanted to prove. Similarly, we can prove the other part, which is negative x into y is equal to negative of x into y. Now, let us look at the second part. We proved this in the first part that x into negative y is equal to negative of x into y. If we substitute negative x in place of x in this, we'll get negative x into negative y is equal to negative of negative x into y. Now, since negative x into y, that is this part inside the curly braces, is equal to negative of x into y from proof of 1, first part, we'll get this. Instead of this, we are just going to write negative of x into y. And negative of negative x is x. So negative of negative x into y is x into y. Hence, we get this, and that is what we wanted to prove. Thus, by applying the axioms of addition and multiplication in the set of real numbers, we established several corollaries such as the cancellation laws and properties of zero, negatives, and inverses. These foundational results are not just isolated facts. They form the logical backbone for proving algebraic identities. Whenever the symbols used in an algebraic identity represent real numbers, the identity can be proved using the axioms of real numbers. For example, if we need to prove that a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Here, these symbols a and b, they belong to the set of real numbers. Let us look at the left hand side. A plus b whole square is equal to a plus b into a plus b. Now we can apply distributive law over here, which will give us a into a plus b into a plus b. Now let's open the brackets, which gives us a into a plus a into b plus b into a plus b into b. A into a is a square. Then this is ab plus ba plus b square. Now we know that ab is equal to ba. So let's write this, and then we get a square plus 2ab plus b square, which is equal to the right hand side. So we can also prove the algebraic identities using the axioms of real numbers.